Sup everyone, we're back with more Great Ace Attorney. Time to get back to the deductions.
Unimaginable.
I did some audio editing in between recordings. The aftermath of which can be clearly seen by observing the carpet over there. A very expensive woolen carpet, if I am not mistaken.
Oh, dearie me.
What could have caused such a destructive outburst?
Oh,
You absolute blundering fool. Your gaze has betrayed you. Your wandering eye has settled upon the answer very neatly indeed. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only look at the Tower of Cakes. Why is Mr. Natsume's cat in here?
but surely Miss Garridebs didn't eat the carpet.
Listen, if you're hungry enough, you'll eat anything, unless it's like rocks. But then again, you could be like a Goron from Zelda, so, eh. No, of course not. But there doesn't seem to be any doubt that the state of disarray that this room is a result of her wild temper.
No, that's true. So this is the last part of Mr. Sholm's deduction that we need to fix.
Yep. I would have pushed the recording farther, but we are already over 50 minutes, and I try to keep it at 45 generally.
We need only follow Mr. Garridebs' gaze, and that will tell us the real answer.
Alright, let's see what we can see.
Yes!
And let me save here, because you know how I like to do. I like to do all the funny stuff. Because what's life without a bit of comedy, eh? Circus handbill. I'm honestly... Explain the dire state of the carpet. Oh, I can tell what this is, but let's do everything that's wrong first. Oh, I can actually examine the carpet itself. Interesting. First, the cakes.
Ah, so many cakes!
Is that all you can think about?
Well, look at them, Mr. Naruhodo. There's a mountain of them, and they all look so delicious.
It's more of a tower than a mountain, I'd say.
It's a mountain, and it's my hope that one day in our very homeland, I will be able to perform the tea ceremony at the foot of such a mountain.
It's definitely a tower. No need to be such a party pooper. What is this? What are we talking about? Ladders and step ladders in here? As you can see, the cakes on this cake stand have been strewn far and wide. In fact, I have a strong suspicion that some of the delicious cream was thrown onto the carpet. But to a woman with a very sweet tooth, such a waste would be unforgivable, so she ate it up, carpet and all. You are an utter fool, as always. Jeez, why has Mr. Sholmes gotta be so rude every time I try to say something? He thinks he's so much better than everyone else.
I don't know, I think that's just how he is.
Anyways.
This is an advertisement handbill for the circus. Batty Circus. It's in a nearby park.
Perhaps.
Perhaps they're very great circus lovers.
It couldn't be that Hungry Lion is somehow evolved again here, could it?
Oh dear, I do hope not.
Imagine if he was actually right and it was an actual lion.
Take that!
Give me the funnies. Now, the circus handbill was discounted as part of an earlier deduction already, I realized that. And I also realized that just because it was the wrong answer, that doesn't make it the right answer now. But when in doubt, my approach is present, and present again. My man. Okay, and back. I really need to find, like, something that helps with my vocal cords when I'm recording. Like, something to eat or drink. Because while I don't think I'm terrible at this, it, like... Well, what I mean is, like, it affects my vocal cords pretty fast, doing all these voices and stuff, because I'm not used to recording and having to do voices aside from my own a lot. So I'd like to figure out something. I have a very limited palette, so I need to eventually expand upon that. The carpet here has been ripped to shreds.
Yes, and according to Mr. Sholm's deduction, the tears match those made by an Indian lion's teeth exactly.
Oh, look here. You know, I'm gonna say that I'm pretty sure that anything... This doesn't match the bite of a lion. For one, I don't think a lion has that big of a mouth. Two, it's very frayed. Oh, look here.
What is it?
If you look closely at the edge, you can see scorch marks.
Oh yes, so you can. So you're telling me that the lion was on fire as it ate the carpet. Wow, that's real interesting, Mr. Naruhodo. In that case, perhaps the carpet wasn't eaten in the normal sense at all.
Let's rethink this with that in mind. Okay, but clearly, the carpet ate itself. The cause of the carpet being in such a terrible state here is the carpet itself. Now, I realize that that appears to be something of a circular argument. However, it's the tack I've decided to try, and I'm not changing course now. This ship is on a one-way trip to failure, and I am the captain. Ah, shit. Well, that didn't work, so time to look at everything in this room until we find what we need. I wish if I could, like, held down left click, I could just drag my mouse wherever I wanted to put the cursor. Because having to just slowly move the cursor like this is a bit cumbersome, to say the least. Alright, the candelabra. What do we got?
This looks like a very old candlestick, doesn't it?
The base looks too small. Surely it's very unstable. It looks to me like even the slightest knock would make it topple over. Well, that explains a lot.
Oh dear, that would be dangerous.
And it was dangerous, I assume. Wait, take a closer look at this. Look at this candelabra. Glance at it. Glare at it. Burn its image into your retinas, much like it burned the carpet. There's one candle missing.
Yes, I didn't notice that before.
Why is that, I wonder? Why is one castle... castle? Ah, yes, we are clearly in a castle. It's not like this is a kind of run-down, lodging. Why is that, I wonder? Why is one candle of the three missing from its holder? I wonder indeed. Present. Baboom. Destroy. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only look at the candlestick. Most illuminating, my dear fellow, but, and of course, the only possible way out of this logical labyrinth. Yes, the remnants of a ferocious attack in which the carpet was devoured are clearly visible. Indeed they are. The scorch marks at the edge clearly give the truth away. Scorch marks? It would appear that this room was the scene of a little marital altercation. Uh-oh. Miss Garridebs' mighty arm muscles left an impression not only on your husband's face. Howie. But on the entire room. The force of her strike caused a candle to fall from the holder. And in seconds the carpet was alight, and the whole corner of the room in flames. My question is, how did the partition not get damaged? Yes, For the most ferocious beast in this world is neither a violent lion nor a vengeful woman, but fire. Burning bright. I will spark again. And in this room, that ferocious beast bared its claws and ran amok. Eloquently put, my dear fellow. So you see, there is but one conclusion here. Finish it off. The killing blow. After the sparks of marital discord flew, this room was the scene of a fire. Oh shit. He actually stood. Mr. Sholmes, sir. I salute you! Oh. That was a nice animation. Carpet scorched by a small fire. It looks like we've blown out the last embers of resistance. Deduction complete. Elementary. It's these dashed long winter nights, you know. Nothing to do but read in front of the fire. Luckily, there's a jolly good second-hand bookshop just around the corner. Buy all my old novels there. And in the pages of one particular novel, you discovered some rather illicit material.
For which your wife admonished you harshly, it seems.
Don't know about admonished. Demolished might be rather closer to the mark. And beast is most certainly an apt description. Here we go again. And the carpet? Was that destroyed by fire when a candle fell on the floor? Afraid to say it was. Happened in the blink of an eye, you know. The whole place filled with smoke. Couldn't see a bolly billy thing. I was caught between the old stick's rage and the raging flames. You paint a torrid picture, sir. One that would have been most entertaining. That's sympathy for you. He's just like, damn, I wish I was here to see it. Didn't take long for the fire to spread, of course. I'm gonna look up how to pronounce that. How long have I been paused? Oh, shoot. I hope I haven't been paused for long. Oh, no, no, no. Shit. I have no way to check. I feel like the recording was paused for long... Oh no, has it been... Oh no, it might have been paused ever since that. Well, luckily not much happened, I guess, since I paused the recording. It was just them going over stuff, and Sholm saying how it's not actually related to the case. So, I hope that was... Oh, God, I have no way to check. This sucks. Oh, I started recording at about 1 AM, and it's like 1:35. No, I couldn't have been talking for that long. Oh, shit, this is gonna keep me up. I'm gonna hate looking at this. So anyways, it's about the time to go see Mr. Natsume. Because, yeah. There isn't much else to do, and it's about time for visiting hours to be over, so we gotta go back. For all I know, I'm just saying this stuff and everyone watching already knows, because I don't know if I paused the recording or not. I am gonna pause the recording now to look at something, though. Okay. I think I got what I wanted. So yeah, we're going to the prison to see Soseki and give him our answer, and if we will or will not take his thing. Wait, what? I thought I pressed the prison. What?
It's time, Mr. Naruhodo. We must hurry back to the prison.
Yes, I know. Let's hail a Oh.
What's the matter?
Looks like something's going on over there in front of the Garridebs house. What? I wasn't expecting this. I thought we were just going to see Soseki. The reason I paused the recording was to see what type of voice I gave him, actually. And I might actually change it. I'll have to see. What? Who in the Sam hells are you? Who am I looking at? No, who in the what type of voice do I give this dude? Oh, God. Okay, I feel like I have to give him a very snobby, high-pitched, like... A snobby, high-pitched, high society man voice. I know thee not, old man, fall to thy prayers. Oh God, another new one? Who are you calling an old man, you rum-looking niminy-piminy? There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio. than I dreamt of in your philosophy. Who's this Horatio fella, eh? What are you on about? Oh, brother.
Excuse me.
What the? Who are you now?
I'm sorry, it just looked as though there might be some problem here.
The same music that played for Jailbird is playing now, and I don't like it.
And my associate here, Mr. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, is a lawyer, you see.
A lawyer? What?
If I can be of any assistance, I'd be happy to help. I'm from Japan, but I have studied English law.
Fine, I'll be on my way for today, but you mark my words. This ain't over yet.
Get thee to a nunnery.
Do I look like a bloomin' nun to you?
Oh, actually, the guy on the left here, I feel like I should give him some type of Monty Python voice. He gives off that type of vibe. I think it's a dude. Excusez-moi, otherwise. I do hope you're not injured. Oh, fair Eastern maiden, thou art so gentle, thank you.
What was that all about?
There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy.
Yes, you already said that. I'm not Horatio either.
Forgive the inquiry, sir, but are you a lodger here, in the Garrideb residence? Oh, fair Eastern maiden, thou art so right. Yes, I do dwell in this humble abode.
Mr. Garrideb mentioned that he had another lodger, didn't he? This must be the man. Do you happen to know the other lodger who lives on the first floor?
Oh yes, a gentleman named Natsume. Oh, more worthy a polemist in my battle of words ne'er could there be.
Sorry, battle, did you say?
Who is the stronger, Hamlet or Macbeth? Mr. Natsume and I sparred long into the night.
I see.
I don't fully understand, but it seems Mr. Natsume and this gentleman are acquaintances, at least. So, fair maiden, so good gentleman. I can tarry here no longer, fare thee well.
Okay, bye, dude.
I didn't really understand him, but I think he's returned to his room.
Seems he's unaware of what's happened to Mr. Natsume, so he can't really help us. Wowie. With Sosuke-san and that man as lodgers, the Garrideb house is certainly full of eccentrics. You are not wrong in the slightest on that. Anyway, I'll go and find a carriage.
Yes, I'm sure Mr. Natsume is eagerly awaiting our return.
Let's hope we can get to the prison before visiting hours are over. Okay. February 19th, 6:31 p.m. Local prison cell, 9. Alright. I said I was going to alter his voice, but I gotta kind of feel it out on this. I gave him a bit... I feel like I gave him a bit too deep pitch of a voice solely because he has a mustache. But I feel like he's... because of how squealy and, you know, well, eccentric, basically. I should give him a more higher pitched voice. I've been doing a lot of... But the thing is, doing high-pitched voices kills my vocal cords most of the time. Hi there.
Why, hello there. Oh, it's you. You're here. You came. Locum student, not Mr. Naruhodo, Esquire. I can't believe you came back. I'm so touched. We are so sorry to have kept you waiting, Mr. Natsume. Oh, no, think nothing of it. Relax. If I were a cat, I would purr with pleasure at the company of such fine compatriots. Noble, nurturing, never-failing Nipponese.
Oh, now, let's not get carried away. Oh, I quite agree. There is nothing more reassuring than the familiarity of one's native land. On the other hand... Oh, I was not expecting Sholmes. It is through friendship transcending international borders that one truly appreciates the facts. Such is my belief, at least. Oh, it's you. The miserable, rotten spy, Herlock Sholmes. Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing here? I have no intention of doing anything per se, save observing, of course.
Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes?
Well, having encountered some curious reading material in that gloomful room, and having unmasked the secret identity of that eccentric pair, I have nothing left to do on my schedule today. I did his crazy pose thing, by the way, but you can't see it. I decided I should drop in on my way home to see how our divested friend is faring. Gloomful room? At least your accommodation here offers a window, my dear fellow, and that sense it is a superior option. Anyway, I must commend you on your taste in books. My day has been a delight and cost me not a penny. Are you? How dare you, Herlock Sholmes? I've had it. I'm through. I'm at the end of my rope. I should never have come to Great Britain. It was a terrible mistake. Haunted by spirits and those accursed lodgings. No doubt my luck will be cursed in tomorrow's trial as well. My whole life is bedamned! Susada's like, we really gotta help this dude. He's bursting at the seams.
What are you thinking, Mr. Naruhodo?
He mentioned that once before, didn't he? That his lodgings were cursed, I mean. And there is much truth in Mr. Mustache's words. What? Cursed is a wholly appropriate description, I would say. For the man's lodgings. And indeed for tomorrow's trial. What's that supposed to mean? I mean, probably cursed because of Von Zykes, I would assume. Okay, but what if I Oh, wait. Actually. Yeah, let's present this. We found this receipt in your room, Mr. Natsume. That's right. I went out to buy some new old books. Isn't that a contradiction in terms? And it was on your way back to your room that you saw the woman being stabbed. She's dead, I thought to myself. She's dead! My mind went completely blank. But before I knew it, I was back in my room trembling like a leaf. The bookworm hoping to worm his way out of a bad situation.
Mr. Naruhodo, you just thought up a joke in your head again, didn't you? Please do be careful not to think such disparaging thoughts. How could you possibly know?
I mean, to be fair, I would say out of the people that are alive, she knows us best. I say alive because, well, Asogi isn't with us anymore. Cursed trial and cursed lodgings. What happens if I Oh, I can't examine. Shoot. That explains a lot. Mr. Natsume, what did you mean by what you said just now? About the trial tomorrow being cursed? Oh no, why are you looking so grave? You're making me nervous. I was just getting carried away, that's all. I didn't mean anything by it. Oh, I see. It's really agitated him. You don't mean the trial really is cursed somehow? Are you referring to the prosecutor, the Reaper of the Bailey? The Reaper? Oh no, what do you mean? Oh, he's never heard about him. Please tell me, summarize it succinctly in 16 salient words. No defendant has... I'm gonna count the words. No defendant has ever survived a trial in which the Reaper stands for the prosecution ever. Wow, that's actually 16.
Oh my goodness, can it really be true? That was 16 words exactly. Yesterday, Mr. Naruhodo successfully defended someone against the Reaper. But then, after the trial was over, the defendant passed away in unusual circumstances.
Mr. McGilded.
Whoa, what?
I am impressed, Miss Usato. You have an eye for detail.
Actually, the Lord Chief Justice told us.
Mr. Sholmes, surely it can't be that having failed to have the accused convicted, Lord Van Zykes killed the man himself.
Oh no, he couldn't have, surely.
Well, it is some food for thought. You have some wonderful notions. Sorry? This music is not helping right now. The man isn't a mass murderer, he's a court prosecutor, my dear fellow.
Oh yes, why of course he is.
I mean, he could be both at the same time.
Of course he is, then why are you trying to scare me?
It could be said, however, that the real truth about the man is even more terrifying than your hypothesis. What on earth do you mean by that? Oh, time to learn about the Reaper. Van Zykes is quite a quite exceptional man. However, in London courts of law, exceptional does not equate to winning every case without exception.
Oh, that's good.
Soseki-san looks like he's about to cry tears of joy. As you are no doubt aware, in a British criminal trial, there is both a jury and a judge and a jury. The judge officiates based on the letter of the law, whilst the jury offers public opinion and common sense. It is an excellent system whereby the defendant's guilt is considered from several points of view. However, public opinion in particular is somewhat easily manipulated. Right. Criminals, and corrupt lawyers for that matter, can use it to their advantage. By any means at their disposal, contriving evidence, calling imposters as witnesses, and so on. When the witness is sus. Doom 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 doom. By such underhand means, those who would want to are able to sway the jury. Which means that even in the light of irrefutable evidence, the prosecution can fail.
But it means the wrong verdict can be passed.
And sadly is from time to time, my dear madam. It is simply the reality of the situation. And that's all right. However, those indicted by Lord Van Zykes cannot escape justice. Their fate is sealed.
Oh my.
Though the adjudication may see them leave the courtroom with their freedom, within months they all disappear. It is most striking.
Disappear? But how?
By all manner of misfortunes, sir. Perhaps they are trampled under a passing carriage. Perhaps they fall into the Thames and drown. Perhaps they are suddenly overcome by a raging fever. Or perhaps attacked by highwaymen.
Oh, no.
All examples of the reality of events here in London, I'm afraid, Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh, I knew it. I'm a dead dodo, done for, doomed.
This poor dude. Well, let's talk about your lodgings next. When you said a cursed lodgings before, you were referring to your room at Mr. Garridebs' house, I presume. Do you mean to say you believe that place is cursed?
It's been a year now since I came to Great Britain. But I'd only been in London a week before I started to notice strange feelings in myself.
That didn't take long, then.
Everywhere I looked, there was foreign faces staring at me, laughing behind my back. I was sure people were talking about me. I started to become nervous about going outside. They were always staring at me, all the time from dawn to dusk. So I shut myself away in my room. But even that didn't help. The fear wouldn't go away.
I love his theme.
I know he's going through, like, he's having, like, PTSD and stuff right now, but you have a good theme. You must have been very lonely, having been away from your homeland for such a long time. I've had to move a number of times, most recently to that room on Briar Road a week ago now.
Yes, why did you choose there? It seems a little inconvenient.
The rent is cheap. I have so little money, it appealed to me straight away. Of course, I asked why it was so affordable. The landlord just simpered and said, "The room is cursed." Oops. He quickly tried to cover his mistake, but it was too late, so I told him. If you have something to say, then say it. But if not, don't mention it in the first place.
Yes, well said.
But it was true. It was all true.
You mean the room really is cursed, then?
Ever since I moved into that windowless hellhole, my sleep has been plagued with nightmares. I awake feeling as though I've been choked to death. And in my waking hours, people are stabbed in front of me as I walk down the street. I'm Brandon a killer. You're in prison, nobody wants to know me. I'm surrounded by scary, sinister spirits. If only there was someone, just one person on my side. Can no one find it in his or her heart to believe in me? Really no one at all?
To believe. Yes, to believe. Shinjite. Mr. Sholmes?
Me, Mr. Naruhodo. Pray, what can I do for you?
It's about the case on the SS Buria, if you recall.
The Buria. Ah, that case, the one with the snake.
Well, yes. At that time, I was the suspect, but you believed in me and listened to my side of the story. And you helped us to investigate.
I did I? Interesting.
What I want to know is why. Why did you believe me?
I see, yes, you mean. Because you were a grimly dressed, shady Eastern fellow found with the victim in a locked room.
Well, if you like, yes.
I'm a little surprised that the answer requires explanation, my dear fellow. It's quite simple, really. You said I didn't do it.
But I could have been lying. Surely you must have had your doubts. You must have suspected me a little.
I think perhaps you may have misunderstood. I neither recall believing in you, nor in that which you were telling me.
What?
You see, the only thing I believe in are those I choose to believe in.
What do you mean, Mr. Sholmes?
I make up my own mind about what it is to be believed and what is not. If I should like to believe in something, I do. The circumstances can hang as far as I'm concerned.
But I could have betrayed your trust.
In that case, I should have made an elementary error of judgment, nothing more. Betrayal of trust is an overused excuse, in my opinion.
Meaning? Whether or not one should trust another is, in the final analysis, down to oneself. It is a matter of whether or not one can trust oneself.
Yes, he's right. He's right. Locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire.
Whether or not I can believe myself. A defense lawyer is only as good as his faith in his client. And that comes down to how much faith he has in himself. You were so right, Kazuma. So are we gonna take on the case? We got the whole squad here. Well, my dear fellows, it is time we were leaving, I believe.
Already?
Visiting hours are over. The guard will be here shortly to escort us out. There is a restaurant near here that serves excellent trout. Would you care to join me?
Oh dear, there is never enough time, is there?
Mr. Natsume. If you'd like, in the trial tomorrow, I'd be happy to represent you.
Locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire.
And now the theme is playing. As I said, I only experienced the British courtroom for the first time yesterday. And although the man I was representing was found not guilty, I lost sight of something crucial.
Something crucial?
What to believe in, the defendant, justice, or the truth. How to believe, even. But, I think I finally worked it out. I've decided I must believe in myself above all else. To trust my instincts.
Yes, Mr. Naruhodo.
And my instincts are telling me that you, Mr. Natsume, are innocent of this crime. And it's imperative that we prove that in court.
Mr. Naruhodo Esquire.
I will fight for your innocence until the bitter end, with every weapon available to me. So I hope you'll permit me to represent you tomorrow.
As I said when we first met, I'd like to entrust my fate to someone who will listen to me in my native tongue.
Of course, Mr. Natsume. It would be fair to say, Mr. Naruhodo, that your mind was in many ways made up from the outset. You merely needed the events of today to fully realize it. Yes, I think you're right about that. It's been a roundabout journey, but I got there in the end. L, F, F in the chat, F in the comments. Miss Susato.
Yes?
Would you be willing to stand by my side tomorrow and help me in court?
I'm your frickin' judicial assistant, like I have a choice. As I said this morning, you may consider me your personal judicial assistant.
Bum, 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 bum. The shocking events of yesterday's trial still weigh heavily on my mind. But it's time to stop looking backwards. Kazuma believed in me, and Mr. Sholmes believes in me now too. So it's time. Time that I learned to believe in myself. Soseki-san has no one. He's all alone. So it's my job to help him, to fight his corner. Tomorrow in the courtroom, with all the strength I can muster. To be continued, I assume. Dun 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 dun. Bum bum bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Dun 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 dun. Save complete. The Adventure of the Clouded Kokoro. Oh my gosh, I just noticed something. Wait. Okay, so up here it shows Sholmes, right? And it's the investigation. And then it goes to the trial and it shows Ryunosuke. And if I have one still... Oh, I might not. I don't have it anymore, because we don't have any saves from Case 2 anymore. But I'm pretty sure for that it showed Sholmes for all of that case. So maybe it's like, depending on if you're doing a trial. Because look, all the stuff for Case 3, or Episode 3, whatever you want to call it, shows Ryunosuke in the background of the symbol. But then, between these two, you see that in the investigation here, it went to Sholmes. It's just a nice detail. Do I want to end this, or do I want to go a few lines into the... Because usually before a trial, they put you in the antechamber and you talk about that type of stuff. Yeah, we'll do it. What the heck? We have a few more minutes. Plus, I want to make up for that potential recording pause mistake I did. February 20th, 9:23 a.m. The Old Bailey Defendant's Antechamber. Well, I never expected this. Who'd have thought we'd be back here again so soon?
We are on a study tour of Great Britain, with the intention of learning the country's legal practices. In order to research the latest court procedures here, we need as much court experience as possible.
Well, yes, I suppose that's true, but... For the person in the dock, it may as well be... It may well be his or her one and only time in court, and it could be life-changing. In which case, treating it as research, you may seem a little crass.
Oh, when you put it like that, you're quite right.
Good morning. It's probably Sosuke. Yep. Our boy... Mr. Natsume, good morning.
Oh dear, are you alright? Your eyes are terribly bloodshot.
Oh my god, they actually are. You can actually see the pink around his eyes. The early bird catches the worm, as they say here in Britain. Yes, I've heard that expression. But I really don't want to catch a worm. So I tried desperately not to wake up early, but I was so worried I couldn't catch a wink. Now I'm absolutely exhausted as a result. Do all literary people take things so... literally? I messed up the joke. No.
Thank you for putting your faith in us today, Mr. Natsume.
I wish I had 9 lives. My whole future hangs in the balance. I'm too terrified to tremble. Really? Because I can feel tremors in the floor. I can't do this. I can't take it. Although locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Yes? Why do you keep giving me such a long title? I caught a glimpse of the public gallery as I walked by the courtroom. It looked like the opening night of the opera. There were so many people. I had no idea my case was such a notorious affair here in London. Oh, neither did I. Do you know why that might be, Mr. Sato?
I'm sorry, Mr. Naruhodo, but I have no idea.
Maybe people want to see the Reaper of the Bailey at work, so they're here for Van Zykes? So that all-knowing look on your face is just coincidence, then, is it? Don't hide the truth from me! It's because of the Reaper, isn't it? Oh, I actually called it. Lord Van Zykes? Is that right, Mr. Sato?
I purchased as many different newspapers as I could find this morning, and yes, Lord Van Zykes is on the front page of every one.
I knew it.
Sometime after the prosecutor was dubbed the Reaper of the Bailey, he stopped appearing in court, it seems. It's been several years now, in fact, until the day before yesterday.
Yes, Inspector Gregson told us something similar, didn't he? Flashback.
The trial 2 days ago marked Lord Van Zykes' return to the courtroom after a very long hiatus.
The trial of Magnus McGilded. Oh, what a harrowing experience that was.
I believe that appearance made even greater waves here in the capital than today.
But we wouldn't have realized, of course, having only just arrived in the country.
Why is the Reaper back in the Bailey so soon? for what appears to be a mundane murder? That's the question the papers are asking, and they are all speculating various answers.
Mundane! Mundane is the most significant saga of the century to some of us.
Oh dear, I meant no offense, Mr. Natsume, but that is how the papers are describing it.
Well, let's we all forget the fact that it could spark an international incident. Obviously, the reappearance of this infamous prosecutor has caught people's attention. But there's another blatant similarity with the trial of 2 days ago.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, the lawyer. Mr. Naruhodo Esquire, it's you. Me? Well, I suppose that's true. Both times it is you who stands against this legendary prosecutor. It can only mean that you're friends with the Reaper. Please, I don't rub shoulders with Deathbringers.
I'm afraid that there's really only one explanation. It can only be another example, Mr. Naruhodo, of your uncommon bad luck.
Thanks for that. I mean, he did become an accused / suspect in 2 separate cases already, so yeah. Oh, this is just my luck. Why must I be represented by a man with such frail fortune? Am I the least lucky lawyer alive? Well, let's not forget that it was you, Mr. Natsume, who asked me to represent you. Yes, it's true that I'm just a student, new to London, with little in the way of experience or skills, or luck. But I promise you this. I will fight your corner until the bitter end, and I will believe in you, Mr. Natsume. Oh, benevolent locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire.
You're not alone here with us, Mr. Natsume. Whatever happens, we will always be on your side.
Oh, benevolent non-locum assistant, Mr. Mikotoba Esquires. I am in your debt forever. I shall never forget this great kindness. I can't even finish my line. Because I speak in such long sentences, and it's hard to speak fast when you're trying to sound like you're constantly on the verge of crying.
Mr. Natsume, counsel for the defense.
I think that's the type of voice I gave him.
The court session is about to begin. Kindly make your way into the courtroom at once.
Alright then, Mr. Natsume. It's time. Let's go. Yes! Alright. Uh-oh. This is it. My second appearance in a British courtroom. And my second trial against the Reaper. I hope you're watching over me, Kazuma. Because this time I won't let my faith wither. I'll believe in my client to the last. Just like you believed in me. I believe I can do this now. I'm ready for this fight. Damn it, I was hoping there was one more line. Oh wait. Okay. 20th of February, 10 a.m. on the dot. The Old Bailey courtroom. Next time on the Great Ace Attorney. We will be starting the trial. Adios, ciao, and bye-bye. Signing off until next time. Ja matane.